Hi, I'm Paul Bowman, CEO at Wexer, the digital fitness specialist who deliver over 25 million fitness experiences per year for our partners worldwide. Welcome to the Wexer podcast, where I'll be speaking to industry experts to bring you insights and advice to support your business journeys. In today's episode, we are bringing back Karen Mason, Head of Customer Operations here at Wexer. So lately, just to give the listeners some context, before we jump in, Karen. So lately we, in the podcast, we've been focused on how Wexer empowers club operators, streamlining schedules, enhancing member experiences and scaling operations. Today, we're flipping the lens slightly. We're going to explore how Wexer Virtual supports the people on the front line, like group exercise instructors and personal trainers, essentially the fitness pros. And there's no one better to have this conversation with than the lovely Karen Mason that can have kind of both lens. How many years of group exercise instruction did you do?
25, 30, something like that. More than I would care to say.
So when we came up with, we should be talking a little bit more about the fitness professionals. I went straight to, this needs to be Karen's show. Of course, let's be honest, Karen, you love a podcast, so it's let's do it.
I'm beginning to love a podcast. Yes.
And I actually should say, bonjour. Coming from Paris, so not Auckland. So let's try and drive a little bit of culture. If you can answer any questions in French, that'd be great.
Yeah, no.
No, yes, no. Okay. So let's just jump straight in. So I guess in terms of scheduling, as we know, there are fewer and fewer qualified group exercise instructors out there, and it's very hard to find subs, right? When you need them the most. Usually it's on a 24-hour basis. They're sick. I was actually speaking with Fitness Park today in regards to their move. Everyone's moving to employee models rather than contracting, and some of these employees now have to do 4 to 5 sessions a day. So trying to cover 4 to 5 sessions if someone's sick and only giving you 24 hours notice is a tough ask, but we can. Karen can highlight some solutions for this situation. In most operators make instructors actually cover their own classes as well, right? So, in terms of what are the challenges that come with this responsibility?
Firstly, I agree. There aren't as many instructors around as there used to be. I think COVID started a massive difference. Majority of instructors being self-employed, no work. So went into different businesses and haven't come back. So I think you've named it really. The biggest challenge is for the instructor and the facility alike to find a good available instructor as opposed to just an instructor.
Yeah. No, fair. And then, I guess, what are the risks that come with this task in terms of them finding the cover?
Yeah, for the instructor to find their own cover, when there isn't really a lot of choices, yes, that is a risk. The instructor could occasionally choose somebody that maybe isn't as good as an instructor as they are themselves. It's been known, so that then they know they teach a better class. So that's not giving a very good user experience. They could find cover, but then that cover instructor cancels at the last minute because they don't have any loyalty to that gym chain. So if they don't turn up, they're not that bothered. They could book one of the gym team to cover the class, which is great that it's somebody that's known, but they wouldn't necessarily teach that style of class, so it would be a different style of class taught. So again, it's not necessarily the best experience for the members.
Yeah, I agree. And then I guess, how do we support the fitness professional when it comes to covering their classes?
As far as the virtual classes are concerned, there's loads of different styles. So there will be a style in there that will act as a very good cover class. The instructor can even look through the classes themselves and recommend to the GX lead, I think this class would be a good class cover. And then that would involve the instructor along the way. But the real biggie, if that's the right word, is the instructors can record their own classes. They get uploaded to it's a platform we call a partner portal that's individual for each club, and they can then have their own class as their cover class. So that makes the member happier because they've got their instructor in front of them. It makes the instructor happier because they know that their class, their class, the people that always come to see them are being looked after because they're having the right instructor. And the club facility is obviously happy because their members have got their instructor even if they're not physically there. Another reason for recording instructors, for instructors to record their own classes, is that they could teach with them. Now that might sound a bit weird, a teacher teaching with their own video. Bear with. It wouldn't suit all styles of class. Say yoga, as an example. If you imagine the instructor's got a full class, the yoga moves are quite hard to get into. The poses are hard. Flowing from one to the other is quite hard. But if the instructor was teaching the class virtually and in reality was in the class physically helping people going into the poses, helping them with their posture, it's two ways of sort of two instructors in one, really, teaching the class. So I think that would give support for the instructor where they could use virtual to help them teach, and also then it'd be a great introduction for just the video to be there if they weren't able to teach as well.
And like feedback from one person, myself, but actually when I've had a situation which I agree it was a bit weird when the actual person instructing is doing their own class, but my word, is it a better class because you're actually getting them, which they understand their cues so well, but then they can help you technique wise. So like how much I saw other people benefiting, especially from way better form, and I would actually generally say better motivation, because the teacher's not then having to manage the whole class. They can actually give you one-to-one, and actually weirdly, because the individual already knows the class inside out, they know how to help so much better rather than kind of cueing based off not understanding what that person's about to do. So it's I actually think it's probably one of the best gym experiences we actually have in the industry by doing it that way. There you go, big call, snapshot, no, clickbait, something like that, sure. Okay, so then and then in terms of Wexer supporting the fitness individual around first time members, actually, like maybe explain what this means.
Yeah, first time member, not necessarily first time member of the club, but a first time member into the studio, a newbie, for want of a better word. It's a scary place. They'll stand at the back row. They don't know left from right. They don't understand mirroring. If the instructor turns one side to show an angle of a move, you'll find that new person turning to that side as well. It's really getting to know the studio etiquette. You've got that whacking great big mirror in front of you as well, all very off-putting. And it can be overwhelming. And you do find some people will come to a class and that's it, never walk in there again. So, and from the instructor's point of view, if somebody hasn't been into a class before in general, and this person is sitting in the back row, it's quite hard to sort of check that they're okay, making sure that you're looking after the entire class at the same time, especially if it's a pre-choreographed class where you have a limited amount of time that you can spend between moves. So having a way of letting that new person learn what is in the studio is helpful. Or sorry, what is done in the studio is helpful.
Yeah, and then I guess talk about it from an onboarding point of view in terms of how it can help onboarding.
Yeah, the studio member can learn the basics if they go to a virtual class. They'll learn studio etiquette if that's right. What the instructor does and mirroring without any intimidation of the front row that seems to know everything, and the instructor that's looking at you thinking, what is that person doing? You don't have that. A video won't judge you, but you can follow on and understand what a studio class is by attending a virtual class, and it sort of takes the scariness out of the studio. standing alongside people that everyone else seems to know what they're doing is scary. So if that new member or that new to the studio member experiences a virtual class, they'll get to grips with what following an instructor means. They'll be able to understand what they're doing wrong without being judged, because they can use the mirrors to look at themselves rather than check what everybody else is doing. And it'll give them confidence to walk into a studio. They won't be the new person. They might still stand at the back, but they'll understand the whole idea of why the instructor teaches facing them, why left and right seems to be the wrong way around. It just gives them the confidence to understand what's going on.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well said. And then I guess flipping from group exercise instructors to personal trainers, most personal trainers see their clients 2 to 3 times a week max, maybe. In terms of Wexer supporting the personal trainer to better help serve their clients I don't want to give you the answers. How can Wexer support the personal trainer to help better serve their clients?
I think the main thing about personal training, you're right, you see them 2-3 times a week, who could afford to see them more. And then the personal trainer will say, just run on that treadmill 45 minutes every other time you come in. Boring. So they don't. And then they just see their personal trainer, their gains are a bit slower than they could be. How interesting it would be for the member to be introduced into studio classes. And at this point, I just want to say that not every virtual class is a typical aerobics. There are many classes that are a gym goer that understands weight training or circuits that would feel happy in. There's many classes like that. And from the PT's point of view, the personal trainer's point of view, if they are able to suggest classes that the client can go to rather than run on the treadmill, they're introducing their client to more of the facility that they're paying their membership to. They're showing their client that they are more than just, pick this weight up and put it down kind of trainer. So it's just opening the doors more for the member, which they're going to prefer. The facility will prefer, because the member is going to carry on paying their membership, and the PT is showing that they've got more in their back pocket to offer for training than just a gym workout.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I guess discuss how commercials can be highlighted and support the team of fitness pros and bring a spotlight to them as well.
Yeah, now this is a feature that I really feel should be used more. You've got new instructors coming into the studio. Use the commercial to introduce the new instructor before any classes starts. It needn't be their class, any class. You can say, we've got new instructor, they teach on blah, blah, blah days, come along. You can use it to introduce your personal trainers. Then the people in the studio that might never set foot in a gym, that's personal trainer. They look quite nice. Yes, I'll go and speak to them afterwards. So again, it's introducing different parts of the facility to the members. So a person that usually only ever goes in the studio, you're kind of half introducing to the gym. And by highlighting studio classes in the studio, you're then introducing the studio members to other classes that they might not go to. They just come 10 o'clock on Monday because that's what I always do. But then this new instructor is going to be teaching at 12 o'clock on a Thursday. I might come along to that. So it's using it as an introduction to other people within the facility, not just the studio.
Yeah, no, nice. And then we've actually talked a lot about partner portal. So I would actually recommend we'll put a link in the other podcasts that we spoke about partner portal for listeners, because I think, as you said, the commercial side in so many different ways, pre and post advertising, or just general advertising in general, or advertising of the trainers just is not used well enough. And these are the biggest screens in the club usually. So it makes sense for them to be the walking billboard, the billboard for them. So then I guess in terms of, we've talked a lot in terms of ways Wexer can support the fitness professional day to day. If you had to sum it up, what's the single most important takeaway you want instructors and trainers to know about Wexer in terms of how it has their back?
I think to embrace digital. Digital is out there. It's there to assist It's not there to take away. A lot of studio instructors will believe that the videos are there to take their class away. It's not. It's to add support to them if the class is used in the right way. It's a tool to offer variety to workouts at the members at times when there aren't instructors available, and it's a tool to help the gym trainers offer more to their members. So digital is a tool to be used, not a bunch of videos to fear.
Perfectly said. Agreed. Yeah, use it as a companion to support your current business rather than use it as it's not trying to replace you. And then I guess looking ahead, how do you see the role of digital fitness evolving for professionals, and how is Wexer preparing in terms of empowering instructors and trainers?
The digital fitness I've just mentioned should always seek to enhance the real person, not replace. I don't think ever at Wexer anybody's going to decide, oh, that's enough features, we won't do anymore. That will never happen. I work closely with the development team, and we're constantly looking at ways to improve what we offer. We hear feedback from our clients to make things easier and act on it with new features, with a more user-friendly layout, with regular improvements. We're a tech company in the fitness industry, two industries that do not stand still. Wexer won't stand still. We want to empower our clients to improve their business, their studio instructors and their trainers, so all of us together can build a great digital offering for members.
Beautifully said, and I agree. And I think for us, there's a lot of people that think that Wexer is actually just a traditional tech company. We are still fitness professionals through and through. All of us at Wexer train most days. We love the fitness industry, but we try and deliver solutions for fitness professionals to be able to help people move more, and that's always the goal of a business. So you said that really, really well. Look, thank you for joining me on the podcast again, Karen. I appreciate your insights. I appreciate your passion, and I hope the fitness professional and group exercise instructors listen to this and know that we are a friend, not an enemy.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thank you.